Did you have any idea that you would ever own a business?
So I decided I was either going to keep going the EMT route and also work for the IRS, or I was going to do vegan sushi.
I'm always curious about the creative process of making these rolls. So how many of them are like your own thing?
For me, it was more of being able to give back to people, like to be able to provide a space, a safe space for vegans to come.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to Talkin St. Pete. I am your host, Ryan Bogdan. Before we get into today's amazing guest, I want to let you know that this podcast is sponsored by Bogdan Homes. So if you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest here in the greater Tampa Bay area, find our contact in the information. What am I saying? In the description below, you will find our information. And now on to our gorgeous guest. We have Thalia Tatham with Vegano. Did I say it all right?
Almost.
Vegano.
Yep.
My goodness. Today is not my day, folks. That's okay. So we have a vegan sushi restaurant here in Central, and she has an amazing story how she came up with that, and so fitting for the area. And I've heard great things. Shout out to Debbie for connecting us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Soul Bistro is amazing. Debbie and her husband Ron are great.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're amazing people, and she has connected me to so many people to come on. So I'm really glad we get to meet here today. So tell us, how did we get to a vegan sushi? And I've never heard of it before we got introduced. I find it to be fascinating because I know there's so many out there that are vegan and are not looking to maybe a healthier option to the fried kind of sushis and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, it was a health thing. Mm-hmm. I had lupus. I thought it was like a normal thing that I was just going to have to just live with for the rest of my life. And then when doctors started bringing up medications, my partner, he was like, let's try different options. Like, he sat me down. We watched a bunch of documentaries, and the one that really stuck out to me was The Game Changers. And I literally cleared out my fridge, and I was like, we're doing this. And yeah, we just went all in. And when it came time to have my favorite food, which is sushi, we went out, and I was like, this can't be it. This can't be all there is. Cucumber avocado rolls, sweet potato summer rolls, they all just seem so lackluster. And I wanted to kind of recapture that. So I started just making them at home for my family. And he was like, I think you're onto something here. I think this is pretty cool.
So where did you get where did the inspiration come from? Are you looking online? Like what?
I did. I went to YouTube. YouTube had like two really cool recipes. There was like a spicy tuna roll, and then there was another one. I think it was like a crab roll with tofu. So I made some of those, and then I just started thinking like, I don't have a background in like cooking or like culinary, so I just wanted. But I love food. I've always loved food. So I was just kind of like thinking like, there's so many things that lend itself well to seafood that is plant-based and all like whole foods. So I just started just creating things in the house with mushrooms and tomatoes and eggplant and all those things. So yeah.
Okay, so we're making rolls in house just for you, and then people caught wind of this. You started doing this for others. Like, how did this form to now you have this amazing place?
Weird story, I guess, but like I'm an EMT, mm-hmm. but I wanted something else to do. So I decided I was either going to keep going the EMT route and also work for the IRS, or I was going to do vegan sushi and doing like pop-ups and festivals and things like that. So I went the vegan sushi route, and we just started doing pop-ups at different festivals. And we also got picked up by Black Radish Grocer, which is a all-vegan grocery store in Tampa in Seminole Heights. And they started doing grab-and-goes, and they would sell out very quickly. So I'm like, okay, this is cool.
And when did this start? How long ago was this?
This was a year, 2021.
Okay, so things are moving fast.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I was vegan to 2020. 2021 started doing pop-ups and doing deliveries, pre-orders online, and just driving sushi everywhere. And I decided, I'm like, maybe we should just have like a place for vegans to come, like a little hub where I don't have to keep driving around. And I just wanted to have a place where vegans can come and just enjoy sushi and have that experience back. Because I know I didn't have that experience, so I figured that they didn't as well.
What you really, they always say the riches are in the niches. And what a niche in the vegan market, right, of sushi, because most people are finding, it is always meat or some kind of fish or something like that. So, okay, that's pretty cool. How many different, I'm always curious about the creative process of making these rolls. So how many of them are like your own thing, or did you put a twist on, and how many did you have prior to saying, okay, I'm going to do a pop-up?
prior to a pop-up, I would say I probably had like 8 good rolls, and they were all inspired from the rolls I loved previously, like the volcano roll or like a spicy crab roll or spicy tuna. But since then, it blossomed and my creative juices started flowing. And I believe I have like 87 rolls now.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
not all on the menu. They're not all on the menu, but yeah, there's like about, I think I'm like, oh no, there's more now. So I'm probably at 90 something rolls now because
Wow.
yeah, they just keep growing, and I keep just wanting to kind of like just kind of spin it on its head a little bit, just make it different, cool, tasty, and just bring back those like really traditional flavors with like my Caribbean fusion in there.
Oh, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. So what's the hardest part about coming up, like changing out the meats for the rolls? Is there a hard part
I
about
don't
it?
think there is a hard part,
Okay.
honestly. And the reason why I say that is because all of the flavors and everything that we do come from like spices and herbs and sauces and things like that. Like the protein, the animal protein is not the essential part of it. Um, I mean, that's my opinion. I think some people like may think differently, but to me, it's like it's those things that you put in there to make things taste, those like the taste profile and things. I think that's what really makes the sushi great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. So let's go back before we dive deeper down that rabbit hole. Since you've gone vegan and with your lupus, what has the outcome been?
Remarkable. After 6 months being plant-based, I had no markers for having lupus. So like I've just completely put myself into remission. I have no inflammation in my body. I was struggling with before having like all body arthritis and pleurisy in my lungs where it was like hard to breathe. Felt like there was like a
Wow.
hole in my chest.
Ooh.
And I would do it like I would have flares like maybe every 2 weeks, and I would just deal with it with like ibuprofen, some rest, and just kind of being out of it for a little bit. But yeah, 6 months later, being plant based, never had a flare, haven't had one since.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's really interesting to me how diet can influence people in such a way, and all of our bodies are so different that you can't prescribe. I don't think you can prescribe one diet for every person to say it's going to be right, because then there's the opposite of the vegan route, that those that have cured diseases from just going into only meat.
Right.
So there's a whole other spectrum of that, right?
There
And
is.
there's which camp do you go in? I don't think it's a camp, right? I think
Right.
it's all of our bodies are made up differently in a chemical process, and what's going to jive for you might not jive for another, and vice versa. So, but the fact that you found something that works, and there's going to be a lot of other people that are in that same boat,
Yeah.
and now you're feeding them sushi. Who would have thought?
Right.
So, okay, so we got 90 some rolls now. Now that you have the restaurant, but how did that come? I mean, because that's a big leap of faith, right? To go from pop-ups to now you have overhead, you have expenses, you have staff. I mean,
Yeah.
did you have any idea that you would ever own a business like this?
No, I didn't. I definitely did not. I felt like I was more excited about the prospect of having like my own location. But yeah, all of those factors. My partner's like, "You don't want a restaurant. You don't want a restaurant." He's like, "Let's go the wholesale route," and I was like, "No." I said, "I was like," to me, it was more of being able to give back to people, like to be able to provide a safe space for vegans to come and not worry about like cross contamination. It's like, because like they're like other restaurants, they'll do like a AAC roll that has like asparagus and avocado and something else in there. So they have those rolls, but they're cutting with the same knives that cut through animals. And like vegans, like we're kind of hardcore when it comes to our food, so we don't want that cross contamination. And so I wanted a safe space. So I never thought it would happen, but I'm very happy that we did it because there's so many people that come in on a regular basis now where they're like, this is their go-to spot. So it's really cool. And I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so what was going on in the business and in your mind that said, okay, now I know you said you wanted to spot a place for people to come because you're running all over, but I mean, so you mentioned you had a partner that helped you with this. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into opening a restaurant. What were you trying to figure out? Like, what were the struggles there? Like, was it finding location? Was it building out the place?
I had a great realtor. I had a great realtor who's also a friend of mine, and she was able to find a location. She's like, stop looking, because we thought maybe a food truck. I mean, like different things, like and I was like, no, that's not the experience that I want, anyone to have. So I was like, and sushi is kind of like a more elevated experience. So I pictured a bar in my head. I pictured like a nice loungy feel, very welcoming. So my realtor found a location inside the Body Electric, and they had a juice bar situation that they had not used for 3 years. Like they didn't use it at all, but they built out this gorgeous juice bar. And I was able to come in and utilize that space. And it was like very low overhead. Like they weren't trying to break anyone's head over it. You know, it was very accessible. So that was a huge benefit to be able to come into that location. And then, yeah, and I had one employee and myself at the time. I didn't know it was going to be such, I don't know how to say it. I didn't know such a big turnout on our first week and first month that we had.
Yeah, so how did you advertise?
It's just completely through word of mouth and our Instagram. And it was jam-packed with people. People were standing up, and I was the only one rolling sushi at the time.
Oh my
it was
goodness, you were hustling. Yeah, you were hustling.
That's me. So that was pretty scary. Everyone was very nice and very understanding. But yeah, just slowly growing the business from there. And staffing is also difficult. Just finding people that care about your business as much as you do.
You never will.
It's probably true.
You never will.
But I have a remarkable staff right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
They might care a lot, but they'll never care as much as you do.
That's probably true. Yeah. That's probably true.
Yeah. I've talked with enough business owners to know that it's just how it works.
Yeah, I get it.
It's okay. So those working for business owners, try to care a little bit more because this is their baby.
It is.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. My staff, they understand that. They understand like what I'm trying to build here and what we're building. So yeah.
Okay.
Very fortunate.
That's awesome. So what's next?
Oh, what's next? So my mind goes in so many different places, but we want a franchise. I think I want to franchise House of Vegano and get different locations in like other cities. And also we have our dumplings and we have our sauces that we'd probably like to do wholesale with. I think that would be really cool because there's not a lot of really good vegan options out there for like dumplings and being able to get sauces. And because when you go somewhere and you have the food, you're like, this was great. Like, how can I recreate this at home? I've always done that. It's like, I would like to do this for myself at home, for my family. So I think that'd be cool to be in that as well.
How many, I'm sure you've done a little research. Are there other vegan sushi places in different cities?
There are.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think definitely the forerunner of vegan sushi is probably Beyond Sushi in New York City.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he was on Shark Tank.
Oh.
Yeah. He went on Shark Tank and kind of pitched his
idea.
Have you been? I've not been. I've definitely heard good things about it. Yeah. Yeah. But what I really like about being in a space where there's other people doing the same thing is that nobody's going to have my perspective on sushi.
Well, yeah, I can tell you have this creative vibe and flair, and you know, when you said it earlier, when the creative juices got going, you went from 8 to now 90. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but I love that. I love that it's accessible to other people in other places, and then people get a different take on what sushi is to somebody else. So there's that, and I think Shojin in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not many.
Not many. No, not many.
So there's definitely something to tap into there.
Absolutely.
Okay. So House of Vegano, where did the name come from?
House of Vegano was born out of so I watched a show on Netflix, and it's called Pose. And it's where people that were queer came out and they got disowned by their families, and they started forming their own houses where they would take care of each other. And I kind of see that the same thing with House of Vegano is that it's a place for vegans to come and feel safe and where we take care of each other. And yeah, they had like in New York, they had House of Mizrahi, House of Givenchy. So I thought, why not House of Vegano?
And it's very fitting, you know, with being a vegan and like that's cool.
Yeah.
That's where the name is really unique to the experience.
Yeah.
So what is the experience that we're coming into? Because I know you have this thing, Test the Kitchen.
Test Kitchen.
Test Kitchen.
Test Kitchen. Test Kitchen's really cool. I love Test Kitchen because it, again, allows, with restaurants the way they're set up, it's like you have to put things on your menu and you have to know the price points and you have to it's really hard to kind of add things to the menu.
Mm-hmm.
But what Test Kitchen allows me to do is kind of be really creative and put things on the menu that necessarily might not make it to the menu, but it's something I wanted to try out and see how people were feeling about it. And some things that we have done already have actually made it to the menu already. So we've done like a torch and press where it's like flattened rice with avocado, and then we put like a bunch of sauce and we torch it to create, and then we put some gluten-free panko crumbs on there, and that's dynamite. So that's made it to the menu.
That's dynamite.
Yeah, everyone really loves it. And I've done that every single Test Kitchen. It's like the first course on all of them, and everyone's like, you got to put that on the menu. It has to make it the menu, and so it has.
Oh,
so,
that's cool. So it's a way for you to experiment and then also let everyone give a taste of a bunch of different stuff without having to I like that because I don't like to make, by that time of the day, I don't want to make decisions.
Nobody wants to make decisions. And it's on a Monday, which is like it's like that's our Friday right now. And it's cool because we also get to utilize everything that's in-house because we like to have no waste. And we get to just repurpose everything.
So hold on. You said Monday is your Friday.
Monday is my Friday.
Explain that. What does that mean?
So we're open right now Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay.
So Monday is our last day of work. So technically that's like our Friday. And
so you're closed Tuesday, Wednesday?
Currently closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, that's cool hours. That probably helps, like, because then people are waiting in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Because to me, sometimes you want that. Do you do takeout?
We do takeout, yeah.
Sushi might be that Wednesday night thing, and you're sitting there thinking about it. Now you got to wait till Friday.
You got to wait.
Yeah, okay. I like that. So you guys are probably humming then over the weekend.
We are. It's really, definitely.
Coming in for that dynamite sushi.
Definitely. We made a move from the Body Electric on May 5th. We moved from that location to our central location. So we're at 1990 Central now. And being that, like having that space right in the corner, we're very visible now. People see us. We have a sign now, which we didn't have before. And we have foot traffic, which is something that we never had before. Yeah. So that's really cool. So,
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really, really, really cool. So how long have you been in St. Pete?
Personally or for business?
Well, however way you want to answer that.
Well, I recently moved to St. Pete about 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm fairly new to St. Pete, but I grew up in Spring Hill, Florida.
Got it.
Which is about an hour and a half away. So for the year that we were open at the other location, I was driving every single day.
Whoa.
Back and forth. Yeah.
So, but you knew St. Pete was the right spot to be.
For the first time in my life, I've actually felt like I was home. I've lived in North Carolina. I've lived in New Mexico. I've lived most of my life in Florida. But even growing up in Spring Hill, it never felt like home. And when I crossed the bridge, it was like all of this weight came off my shoulders. And I'm like, this feels like home. And that's never happened to me before. So definitely, I always knew from when we found our first location that St. Pete was going to be home.
You hear that, folks? There's something about crossing that bridge.
There really is.
There's something about that bridge. You come over here and it's just
and then
different.
you don't want to go back.
No.
You just want to stay.
Yeah.
You just want to stay all the time.
Yeah. No, St. Pete. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
St. Pete's just been cozy and home and
definitely
first place for me in a long time.
Yeah.
That's felt that way. Okay. So sorry, I got so excited when you said about coming over the bridge. Where were you prior to Spring Hill? Was that where you grew up?
I grew up in Spring Hill.
Got it.
Moved to Tampa. I did my EMT certs in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Got it.
Stayed there for a few years as an EMT, and then I came back. Went to New Mexico, worked as an EMT, and then I came back to Florida.
Yeah, it just brings you back. You know, something about it.
Every time.
Something about it. So what is, from your opinion, other than the bridge, what is it about St. Pete for you that makes it feel like home?
I feel like it's the creatives in the area. I feel like for the first time, when you come into a place and you're just like, you look around and you're just like, I think I found my people. Like I found my, it's like, there's so many things happening. And I feel like there's like a culture in St. Pete where it's like, there are a lot of places in Florida where it doesn't really seem like it has a lot of history or culture, where I feel like St. Pete has that. And there's like this spirit that lives here. And then you feel it when you come and you walk on the street and you talk, and people make eye contact with you, which doesn't really happen. And they ask how your day is going. Like that doesn't really happen in Florida. And that's my experience. It's like, it's just a welcoming spirit, and definitely like all the creatives are here, the muralists, the chefs, everyone's here. So I definitely feel like I found,
I agree with you. And it's funny how you use the word spirit, because I've heard other people say that before. Not even on the show, just as like I'm out talking with people. Yeah. And what is that?
It's a great question. Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know what it is. It's something. It's there. And I love
maybe
it.
it's just because we're surrounded by, all the water. So everything's just like contained here.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, we have all that waterfront.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it though. I like it. Okay, so what do you feel like St. Pete's missing? So you already filled the vegan sushi gap.
I know. What else let's see. But St. Pete is missing.
I know, it's a fun question.
That is a great question. Let me think. Lower house costs. I'm joking.
I know it's true. It's true.
No, but I don't know if it's. I feel like there's so many things that we have available to us now that I really don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's something missing.
But you're feeling
I just
like
haven't found it yet.
your bucket is filled.
Yeah, definitely. I wish I can think of one thing that I could say, oh, this would be nice to have. I can't think of
Okay.
anything.
No, look, I'm not
Yeah.
mad about that.
I
I'm
can't
not
think
mad
of
about that.
anything.
I think that's really cool. How has your experience been with other business owners now that you're on Central?
Meaning what? Like other business owners?
I mean, like, do you find that there's a community of business owners? Have you
Oh,
tapped
yeah.
into that? Like, what's
Yeah, everyone's been like a lot of other restaurant owners, especially, will come in and eat at House of Vegano, which is really cool because I feel like as a, I don't call myself a chef. It's so weird because I don't see myself as a chef, but as a person who makes food for people, I think it's cool because like I go to different places and I know like that's where the really good food is. So when I see other people coming in and supporting, that makes me feel really good. But yeah, everyone's been very supportive, even like just giving like little tidbits like, hey, don't do this or use this vendor and do this. Everyone's been very supportive. They have like different organizations around that have been created by like locals. There's like St. Pete Girl Boss. There's
Sandy was just on.
yeah, great. I mean, amazing. Like just being able to go around a bunch of people that support each other and just be like, hey, I know someone that does this. I know someone that does this. It's like, it's a great network. But so yeah, everyone's been really cool and very supportive, and yeah, I feel really fortunate.
So when you're not at House of Vegano, rolling sushi and testing all the other things that you got going on, what else do you like to do?
Well, I do have 5 children.
Oh,
So I'm also a mom.
okay. So you're
Yeah.
you're busy. That was enough said.
I'm definitely busy. Yeah, I have 5 kids. The spread is from my 3-year-old's about to be 4, and my 17-year-old's about to be 18. So I got a wide spread of little ones. So yeah,
That's
do
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, I keep my EMT certification. So I'm an EMT in every state. So I sometimes I'll do like a couple things like festivals and just be an EMT.
Okay, just to keep it,
Just to
just to
keep it
keep
fresh.
sharp.
Yeah, just gotta stay sharp sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's that like? I mean, how long did you do that for?
So I became an EMT in 2018.
Okay.
So I've been, EMT ever since.
Yeah.
And I just think it's important to keep your certifications up to date.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that. Our first responders and everyone. That's huge. Super
Yeah.
important for community.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah. It's awesome. I love it.
And you do that in Spring Hill then?
I do that in North Carolina and New Mexico.
Oh, got it. Not even here. Okay.
No, not here. So I do like little jobs like at churches and stuff here, but nothing like before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I'm sure you got stories for days on that.
I have a few stories.
Yeah. You got one you want to share? What's the
Yeah. So I guess the first day on the job, just came into a situation and I never had to give CPR, like live CPR or have to revive. But I came in, there was a lady essentially no longer alive, right? Heart not beating, no pulse, no breathing, nothing.
This is first day.
First day on the job.
Welcome.
Right in.
Yeah.
Get to work. Hey, you know how to do this? Let's go. And I had a paramedic with me, and the partner was like freaking out, and they're like, "What do you mean this is her first day?" Because they had said it, and they're like, "She shouldn't be doing this." And I was like, "I got this. And yeah, she came right back.
You came right back.
She
No
came
big
right
deal.
back. Just another day. But yeah,
Just out here saving lives.
So and then after that, I like cried my eyes out. I don't think I'm built to be an EMT all the time. It's like so what I'm doing now is I get to be with people like at the best times in their lives, and as an EMT, you get to be with people at the worst times in their lives. It's both a blessing because you get to be there for people, but I like what I'm doing now. Yeah, and like feeding them good food. Like when they leave, I know that like they're happy and that I fed them really well, so like their bodies are going to be even better. So that definitely where I
well,
need to
two
be.
ends of the spectrum, like we talked about. And it seems like you're someone who's like an empath. Like you feel, you're feeling off that. So the energy is not so colorful on the one side when you're resuscitating somebody.
Exactly. It was intense.
Yeah.
Very intense.
Wow. Okay. Well, obviously something was there for you because first day to be able to do that. So yeah, a hero in some sense. Yeah. I mean, look, we don't want to like to say it, but you will, right? You saved someone's life, and now you're feeding people in a new fun way, bringing color to our amazing city.
Definitely.
I love that. I love that. So I wanted to so franchise model. What I mean, where do you think? How far out do you think that is? Is that like?
I feel like it's close.
I'm always trying to push people, so I want to know.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's close. I feel like we're already looking at like Orlando, possibly Tampa. but also Atlanta. Like we're looking at those 3 places to see like where we would fit in the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know the vibe's different in Tampa.
The vibe's much different in Tampa. Much
I say
different.
that jokingly because there's been a lot of other businesses I've spoken with that have businesses on both sides.
Yeah.
They're like, it's totally different.
Completely.
So,
Yeah.
but at least it's close
Yeah.
to drive. And what would that look like for you? Would you go to, if you did Atlanta, would you go up there and
Yeah, I'd definitely go up there. I've already made a trip there to kind of see like what the vegan scene was like, and they have like a couple places, a few places that I've seen. Orlando, I think that's a great place to have a vegan sushi place. I know, like there's a lot of tourists, and then there's like a big vegan community. And then on the other side of that, it's like, do we go to a vegan desert where there's nothing, you know, where vegans don't have anything, so we can kind of be that place where that they could come. So yeah,
that's a good point. Which one do you do? I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I had another question and I'm forgetting it now. You think my brain's not working today?
You need some vegan sushi.
You need some vegan sushi. Maybe
Fuel
I'm
you up.
hungry. Yeah. I'm not sure. What the heck was I going to ask you? I don't know. I can't. It will come back maybe.
Maybe.
Dang, that's annoying.
Look, I hate when that happens to me too.
Like it's just raw, folks. You know, this is not as easy as it looks sometimes, right?
You're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What man, it was such a good question too. I was like, oh, nice. And now it's gone. No, I don't know.
I always like to retrace my steps in my head.
Yeah,
like, what was I thinking about before? Because you'd asked about franchising.
I asked about franchise. We were talking about Atlanta. I feel like maybe it had something about that.
Having business in both spaces.
Yeah. Orlando. I don't know. Dang it.
Just ran out.
Yep. Ran out of the I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think it has something to do with Atlanta. I don't know. Oh, well, it's not that, but timeline. I mean, you think like
when we're gonna make next move for the next location.
Have you thought about that?
I've thought about it, and my brain moves faster than like everything else does. But since we recently made that move from the other location to the new location, so kind of getting like everything streamlined here and kind of using this as like this is our our model.
Set up your systems.
Right. Once that's all set, then we're gonna be ready to go. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen quick.
I think you're gonna crush it with that.
Yeah,
I really do. I really do. I can tell. I can feel it. I don't know what it's like.
I love it.
We can feel it.
Good.
Yeah, I know it's there, and there's such a big market for that. And you have a sliver of a good pie. I feel like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't been yet. The full transparency, I've not been yet, but I will.
Good.
And I can tell, but I looked at the menu and the pictures and everything. I'm like, are you sure this is vegan?
I love that. A lot of people come in and say that too. They're like, if you didn't tell me this was vegan, I wouldn't know. Which I think is great. And I think there's other places that I've been to where it's like, if no one ever told me this was vegan, I just wouldn't know. And I think people get turned off from the word vegan, and it's like, I'm happy that I'm a part of like when people say like we're changing kind of the dynamic of what vegan means to people, because when you first hear it, you're like, I thought the same thing, boring, bland, no taste, I'm gonna eat like a rabbit. And it's like that's essentially what when I went vegan I did not want to do, and I haven't eaten a salad since. I'm like, I'm not eating salads. We made shirts that say yes, I'm vegan, no, I don't eat salads, because it's like, because you can have everything, like everything's wide open. It's just essentially just taking the cruelty part out.
So what are your other, besides your own restaurant, what are the other good vegan spots in St. Pete?
The other vegan, Good Intentions. Yeah, that's a new place that just popped up, and it's owned by 3 different vegan owners. So Gnaw Dogs, Golden Dinosaur, and Black Radish Grocer. They're all 3 owners, and they all came together. And then Golden Dinosaur is a great place to have, like, if you want some, like, really good vegan junk food and you're just like, I'm tired of this. Like, I just need something. They have great sandwiches, great hot dogs, great chili dogs. Like, they have everything that you could think of there. Good Intentions is nice to come in if you want to get dressed up and sit down and have a nice little date. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I didn't know it was vegan.
I love that.
Until I sat down looking at the menu. I was like, something's just a little off about the menu. I mean, it all looks good, and they're like, yeah, this is a vegan spot. I'm like, oh. No idea.
Right, yeah. And it's just as good. I feel like if you can have all of those things, and this is obviously just my opinion, but if you can have a volcano roll and it not have anything, like animal products inside of it and it's just as good, like why not have that? You know, why not be able to indulge in that? So I think it's really cool. And the people that want to be vegan, then they have something. And then people that want to have, like you said, like those meat-free Mondays or like just to do something that's just a little bit healthier for them, you know, I think that's really
You
cool.
got options.
You got options, especially in St. Pete. You got options.
You got options.
Yeah, and then there's also Love Food Central. Where else? Plant Love Ice Cream.
Now, Plant Love. I can speak on that one.
Yes,
Yes.
it's the best.
Yes, Plant Love is on the top of my list as one of my favorite places to go after dinner.
Oh my god!
Because
it's
I
so
don't
good.
like to do milk.
Right.
Because it messes my guts up.
Yeah.
So to go in there and get, oh man,
It's
love
the-
me some Plant Love.
it's
And the
the
vibe in
best.
there is immaculate.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
it's like I call it an energy portal. Like when you walk in, you just feel regenerated. Like the smells, the feeling, the everything in there is just amazing. I really sometimes just go there just to get re-energized, and it's the best.
Yeah.
The owner Jo, she's amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the best. And then where else do I really love?
What's your favorite? I always ask everyone, what's their favorite spot
My favorite spot.
to go eat? It can't be your own.
I know, no. I'm thinking. I mean, can it be a dessert spot?
Why not?
Valkyrie Donuts.
What?
Valkyrie?
I don't. Do I know this?
Have you
spot?
not been to Valkyrie?
I don't know it. I don't.
So we both are missing out. You're missing out. Yeah, it's
Where is this?
amazing. It's right on Central.
Okay.
Yeah, Valkyrie Donuts. It's amazing. It's completely creative. They have like there's like a s'mores donut. It was amazing. All vegan, absolutely delicious. And yeah, if I had to pick one spot where it's like this is the only place you can go,
That's what it would be.
it'd be Valkyrie.
Valkyrie
Yeah.
Donuts. Okay,
And then there's
take a note.
Valhalla. There's so many places. Do you see how many places there are? For
Yeah.
vegans? So many. I could keep going. There's so many.
But that's like someone new comes to town. And
Got to
like,
go to Valkyrie Donuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a first. You know, we get a lot of the same answers.
Yeah.
Right? But no, that
What are the other ones that you got?
like Wild Child.
Okay, good one, good
Urban
one.
Stillhouse. What else have we gotten? It's a place up there on 4th. Why is it skipping my brain? No, Noble Crust.
Okay.
You
Another
know,
good one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ceviche.
Okay.
There's, the Mexican gas station spot. I forget the name of it. Yeah, look. Oh, you do? Look at that.
I have a whole list too. I think my list might be a little bit longer. I'm gonna send you some.
Yeah,
Send
you should. You should. Okay.
So-
Valkyrie Donuts, folks.
Yeah, you gotta go.
After you go to House of Vegano,
Yeah.
you go to Valkyrie Donuts. I don't know why I'm having trouble with that word. Every time it comes to
I
my
just
mind.
think like vegano.
Vegano.
Like, yeah, vegano.
Yeah. Well, I can remember that because a long time ago, I used to live in Europe when I was in the military, and I went to Italy, and I'm in Venice, and I'm trying to get to Moreno Island, which is where they do the glass blowing. And I'm asking the locals, hey, Moreno, and they're not like looking at me, and they're like, oh, Moreno. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, I need to get to Moreno.
You gotta get the accent in there.
Yeah, okay, so
That's
Vegano.
funny. There you go. You got it.
Amazing. Where can people find you?
They can find us at 1990 Central Ave. We are right across from the Imagine Museum,
Okay.
which is another great spot to go to if you're in town. Amazing art and glass. They have glass blown art there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're right at the corner.
Instagram,
Instagram, House of Vegano.
easy.
Facebook, House of Vegano.
Website.
Houseofvegano.com.
You got it, folks. Look, that's where you need to go. You need to go. Thalia, thank you so much for coming on. I really
It's a
appreciate
pleasure.
you and educating us on all the fun things about vegan sushi and the vegan world here in St. Pete. We learned a lot of new spots. I didn't know about it. If you're still listening, what should they comment in the comments if they're still with us?
If you're still with us, comment, I love vegan sushi.
I love vegan sushi. Mom, I know you're still listening, so put it in the comments. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. Share, tell a friend, leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all the fun things. Appreciate you. We'll see you here on the next one.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah, of course. That was fun.